What is up, y'all? My name is Nori and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be talking about the most overhyped books of 2020. Some of these might be super familiar to y'all because you have seen it in every single corner of the internet, including apps. Everybody talks about these books. Now, this video is just to literally show you guys, to talk about them, and if I did read them, or if I plan to even touch any of these books. So we're just gonna jump right in because it's pretty much a self-explanatory book. And the first book that I have on my list, it is Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyers. The Twilight has come back. It always comes back. Y'all know that I am a fan of Twilight. It's always been a series that has been near and dear to my heart, even though it is hecka problematic. Recognize that. But it actually got me over some super tough times during my teenage years, and I have to thank those books for that. So, yeah. But if you read them now, you're probably going to be like, yeah, cringe fest. So, yeah, this book got over 72,000 ratings on Goodreads, which, you know, Goodreads is already like super iffy, but it has been a very popular book, and as soon as it came out, that thing exploded everywhere. So if you did not know, this book is actually Twilight but told in Edward's perspective, which was supposed to be released years ago, but it got leaked and Stephanie was like, nah, we're not doing it. But she actually came out and be like, oh hey, 2 months, I'm releasing the book, and everybody just lost their minds, and everybody was like, Twilight stan forever. And I'm just like, yeah, but have I read this book? No, I haven't. I guess, I don't know. I've heard a lot of mixed things about it. I heard that it was okay. For some of the Twilight hard stands, they were super surprised and they really liked it. So I don't know where I'm going to fall in that spectrum, but do I plan to read it? Maybe. This one's a maybe. I want to get to it, but I'll live if I never read the book. But, you know, I can't call myself a Twilight fan if I don't actually read the books. So, I'll read it. I'll read it. Okay, I'll read it. Next book that we have here, it is A Ballad of Songbirds and Snake by Suzanne Collins. Again, with the 2000s dystopian paranormal. Suzanne Collins decided to release a prequel about President Snow, and was this book really necessary? I don't know, but this book had this book has over 164,000 ratings, which is very overhyped, very popular, and very hated too, because every single person who has read this book has been like, this was so unnecessary. So this book got super hyped, but I don't think it lived up to it. I don't know. If you read it, let me know. But I will not be reading this. I think I'll stick to the Hunger Games trilogy and yeah, continue on with my life, because honestly, I don't know why she did this. She should have wrote something else, like another really cool dystopian. Like, she jump-started this era, and why couldn't you have read another book? So, I don't know. The first time I heard that Suzanne Collins was, you know, releasing another book, I was like, oh snap, yeah! And then it was like a prequel. Yeah. So yeah, I won't be picking this book up. The next book that is on this list, it is a Beach Read by Emily Henry. This book got over 92,000 ratings on Goodreads. For a romance, that's a lot. Okay, that's a lot. And I think that's because Emily Henry doesn't write romance, and this was her first romance book. So she's a loved author, just not in this genre. So, this follows 2 rivals from college. Both of them are writers. One of them is just a fiction writer. The other one is a romance writer. And somehow, which you will find in the book because I don't want to spoil any of these books, they make a bet and they decide to switch what they write. So now she's gonna write fiction and he's gonna write a romance, and they go on these bookish dates to try to get more information on how to write these books. Now, did I read this book? Yes, I did. Did I like it? Absolutely. I think this book is definitely worth the hype. I think this is I don't want to say a non-traditional romance, but there was some scenes where you can feel the chemistry, but this book did not have smut. This was not a smutty romance. So if you are the type of person or the adult who wants to get into romance but doesn't want to deal with the steamy hot nights, this is definitely your book. So do I think this book is overhyped for good reason? Yeah, I do. The next book that we have here, it is a Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. Are we surprised that Sarah J. Maas is yet again overhyped? No, we are not. But if you did not know, where is it? It's back there. Okay, I bought it. Actually, Beach Read is back there as well. So this follows Bryce, and Bryce is half fae, and she's just living her life, minding her own business with her best friend. And unfortunately, which is not a spoiler, her best friend gets killed and sends Bryce into this whole investigation of what happened. And now we follow the character Hunt. Now, obviously, if you could not tell, this is definitely a urban fantasy, paranormal aspects. There are all kinds of creatures, but most importantly, there are literally fallen angels. So we have Hunt, and he's a fallen angel. So he gets tasked to be with Bryce and figure out what the heck is going on. That's essentially the plot, and this book is really overhyped. I am Sarah J. Maas trash. Did I read this book? Yes. Did I like it? Yes, I did. I loved this. Oh my god. Like, I don't even want to start thinking about it. I don't even think you can tell, but like my eyes just got watery. I love this book. This book didn't need to be this long, but I still enjoyed it, and I think you should pick it up. The next book here is definitely no shocker, and that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by B.E. Schwab. This book, it's still being hyped around. B.E. Schwab is a very loved author for her adult books, for her YA books, for her middle grade books. Okay, B.E. Schwab, Victoria Schwab, she has a whole entire package. So in this book, we follow Addie. Go figure. And she actually made a deal with some demon, and she literally wants to live forever. But the catch is that every person that she meets, every 5 minutes are going to forget. So it kind of makes it really hard for her to live forever when she cannot get an apartment, she cannot get a car, she is just destined to not be known. And one day she meets this guy, and he actually remembers her. So we follow that story. I believe this book sets itself over like hundreds of years. So yeah. So this book has over 34,000 ratings, and a lot of people absolutely adore it. Now, I do own it, so that definitely means that I plan to read it. Now, if you have read it, please let me know if you love it, because this year I actually tried V.E. Schwab's writing for the first time. Your girl is super late to the party, I know, but I actually really enjoyed it, and I had a lot of fun. So definitely looking forward to picking this up. The next book that we have here, it is a Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. This book has gotten over 54,000 ratings on Goodreads, and if you did not know, this is definitely, it started off as a webcomic, but now it's more like graphic novel. It's broken up into different volumes, so graphic novel, comic, whatever. it's there. This is pretty much queer teens going through it in high school. This is the best way to describe it. I've actually don't know exactly the plot of this, but I know for a fact that some of the characters are in Alice Oseman's like book universe, and they do make appearances in there. Now this is a very beloved series, and I have no idea. Like, I've never picked it up. We're on volume 3. Okay, so the last 3 years, this series has won Goodreads Choice Award for like best graphic novel. Do I agree with it? I don't know, but like Goodreads Choice Awards is super questionable, but we're not even gonna talk about that, not in this video. But yeah, will I ever pick this series up? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I want to say yes, but I haven't picked it up at all. Not even the webcomic. I didn't even know it was a webcomic. But yeah, the only way that I will pick it up is if you guys literally tell me, Nori, okay, you got to pick this up. Because if not, I won't do it on my own. So if you love this series, let me know in the comment sections down below that maybe I should pick it up next year. So this one is definitely a maybe too. The next book on this list, it is My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. This thing has over 75,000 ratings, and this is a very taboo book. It's definitely, it's a very, very dark book, and it follows this, and it follows our main character. And this book does have flashbacks as well, and flash forward to the present time. It starts off there, and she and her ex-teacher and the whole town is super invested because the teacher is going on trial for sexual assault. And yeah, for sexual assault. And the reason why it goes flashbacks into it is because she was sexually involved with the teacher when she was underage, maybe 14, 15, 16, throughout her years. And she thinks that she loves him and that there is nothing wrong with what he did. But yeah, so we follow her perspective throughout the present and the past, and this book gets dark. Now, will I ever read this book? I actually tried to read this book, and it was too much for me. The scenes are very graphic. Like, the book, literally the flashbacks describes some of the sexual acts that, you know, he did with her, and I was just so grossed out, and it was just so, I didn't want to read it. I didn't want to read it. And yeah, so this book is definitely overhyped for being very dark. It has some intense discussions, and it's definitely compared to Lolita, and you know that book is super popular and very controversial. So yeah, I don't think I'll ever pick this book up. I want to, because I want to know how this ends, and I want to know, you know, her thought process at the end and how the trial goes, but like I don't think I can do it, y'all. I don't think I can do it. The next book that we have here, it is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno. And every time I open up YouTube, Goodreads, Instagram, Twitter, even Google, because you know sometimes they'll take whatever you're searching and then they'll use it as advertisement. I saw this book literally everywhere. Now, I don't really know how to describe this book because I've kind of tried to stay away from the description, and the reason is because I actually ordered the book, so I kind of just want to go into it not knowing much. But I kind of spoiled myself there. Yes, I will be reading this book in the definite future. So this follows our main character, and I guess our main character gets some type of letter that something is going on and she has to go back home to this mansion, and weird and creepy things start going on, and that's all I know about it. Like, every time I see somebody review this book, I'm just like, skip, 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 because I don't want to know nothing about it until I literally read it, because you guys know that I don't really do thrillers or horrors or anything like that. I will be reading this, and if you have read this, please let me know on the comment sections down below again. And if you have not read this, but if you want to read this, definitely let me know, and maybe we can buddy read it in the future. And last but not least, literally the most popular book on this list, whopping over 180,000 ratings. It is Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed. I've seen this book everywhere. I've seen this book literally everywhere. And every time I see it, everybody's like, it's not what it seems. It's not what it seems. It's more than that. And I'm just like, okay, then what is it about? And then I'm like, okay, what is it about? And they're like, just go into it not knowing. So technically the synopsis is, there is a blogger named Alex, and one day she has to step out. So she calls her babysitter, and the babysitter, she is black. So she takes the baby grocery shopping, and a police officer or some type of security guard, he actually thinks that she is kidnapping a white baby. So this thing kind of just blows up. And that's the synopsis, but that's all I've heard, is that that's literally like the first chapter. So am I going to actually read this book? Yeah, totally. I already added it to my list. I want to own the physical copy of the book. So I'm literally just waiting to purchase it, and then I can read it. If you read this book, let me know in the comment sections down below. Is it more than just a synopsis? Like, what is going on in this book? And thankfully, nobody has spoiled it. So thank you, internet. Really, thank you. Alright, y'all, and that is it for the most hyped books of 2020, and if I'm going to read them or not. If you like this video, please like, and yeah, let's have a discussion down below if you actually think these books are hyped for a good reason, or if they're just like, nah, passing along. And if you have nothing to say, leave down a purple heart, because duh, it's literally like my favorite emoji of all time. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.